Hello everyone, this is Camille from Volvox. I'm here to present the Neon Indium Performance tool. So let's start with what it is. It's essentially a touch designer network that handles 5 Kinect cameras. We designed it to be used with one version 2 Kinect camera and 4 version 1 Kinect cameras. So essentially, I stripped down the network a little bit to make it easier for you to start and use some effect. But before we jump into the network, plug in your devices. For this tutorial, I'm using one Kinect 2 and one Kinect 1. So in the device manager, you'll be able to see if the computer sees all your sensors. Make sure the V2 is on its own USB bus so that it doesn't collide with all the information from the V1s. We had an extra card in the computer to sort of take on the V2 data. So let's jump in. Before that, on the GitHub, you can download the entire zip folder where you'll find the main TOW file, the TOX folder, and the image folders. So once you have that on your desktop, open up the file. And here's the network. So, so this is pretty self-explanatory. On the left side, you see all the depth images from your Kinects. The top one is the V2, and then here you have the 4 other ones. So for now, I specified all these windows to use the Kinect 1, the one that I have attached. If you have more, you have to just change these numbers to pick your Kinect USB number. So once you see those in the device manager, you'll be able to switch these numbers to pick your Kinect. The sliders are underneath the cameras are the chroma keys, so you can sort of remove the background or the foreground to get the best image for your character. So each camera has that. Buttons underneath this sort of performance view here are for to switch between the Kinect cameras. So right now I don't have the second Kinect, so I'm gonna put it back to 1, and you're gonna see the point cloud here. So each of them has this is once you press this triggers the TOX file that then reloads within your network and displays different animations. So each one has a kind of different style for you to play with. The sliders on the right control the X, Y, and Z positions of the virtual camera that's looking at your point cloud. So since we're on the 3rd camera, these sliders will be the one to control your view. And here you can see me. Underneath that, you have the performance monitor, so your frame rate, GPU memory that's being used. Watch out for that, and definitely keep in mind the spec I provided on the GitHub to run this session with the best performance. So definitely NVIDIA GeForce 980 preferable, but something a little bit less should also be able to run this no problem. Brightness slider is good for performance if you need to transition between tracks. On top here we have spout out button, so if you want to send this image to Resolume or other software, just press this and you'll be able to find it locally. If you're doing this over a network, I'll show you in a second how to set it up once we jump into the Touch Designer TOW. So also for setup, we provided a little test pattern, and this is the monitor output. section where you can choose your monitor. So to quickly go over what's happening inside, here on the left are all the Connect nodes. So this is your V2 nodes. These are the Connect ones. For now, these are disabled, but on the GitHub file, they're all enabled. And once you have all four plugged in, it should work. On top here is the interface container, so you can change all your things here. This still has names of all the musicians from the band. Here are the camera controls. You can dive in here to to change the values for the XYZ position. So if you want something more extreme, just go in here, change the ranges. This is kind of what happens when start. We're assigning Connect numbers to the nodes and then setting the resolutions to 640 by 480. And to maybe quickly demonstrate what's happening inside of the docs files, so let's choose this one's cool. So it opens up the second version 1 Connect. We're still selecting from this one. So here we're still putting depth data from the 1 Connect that I have. That's going into a select node that essentially corresponds to your numbers here. And the chroma key here allows you to specify what you want to select within your depth image. That then goes to the docs file. It's being scaled down and sent to chops. And here we're looking at X, Y, Z positions of the depth image, attaching it to a grid. Then this noise is controlling the instances, which are here. These are the objects that we're instancing, and this is the compiled channel network for the instance. This virtual camera is the one that has all your positions that you can control here. You can also add more movement with this null like I did here, that's spinning just constantly on Y. So this is then being sent to this kind of composite node where we're taking the image, transforming it on the bottom, copying it over to get this cool sort of glitchy background. And here the final out is opacity levels, test pattern, and the final out window. So yeah, essentially before you start using it, make sure your connects are all attached. They are displayed in the device manager. Your V2 is on its own bus, and then you have a pretty legit graphics card. So have fun with this and good luck.